Update on a story Western Mass News has been following for months. The arrest of Sheriff Nick Kochi outside the MGM Springfield Casino last September.
Tonight we speak directly to the sheriff about what happened that day from his perspective as state police released body cam footage from the scene.
How you doing, Sheriff?
Good, very good.
Good, hi.
But in fact, Hampden County Sheriff Nick Kochi wasn't doing good at all. Calling it not his finest moment, this body cam footage showing the moment state police first approached him after finding his official vehicle damaged and parked in front of the MGM Springfield Casino. At first saying a friend of his was driving the SUV, which later proved to be false. The sheriff is then told by the trooper that he's being recorded and everything about the situation is being, quote, taken by the numbers.
Sir, none of us wants to be involved in this, all right? But I can smell alcohol coming from your breath.
The encounter would eventually lead to the sheriff's arrest on a driving while intoxicated charge. Do you think that the state police officers or troopers acted accordingly? Did they do their jobs?
Absolutely. I think during this whole process, you have never heard me once utter a word about any agency for doing their job. That's what they're there to do. I believe, ultimately, the only person to blame for that incident on that night is Nick Kochi. And that's why I've taken full responsibility for it.
It's a refrain the sheriff has repeated multiple times since he was taken into custody back on September 21st. That day, before pulling into the casino with a tire missing and on a damaged rim, Kochi admits he'd been golfing at Springfield Country Club and had a couple of beers.
You've got clear indications of alcohol consumption.
100%.
All right. I can tell that you've admitted to alcohol consumption. You've got your speech a little bit slurred. All right. I can smell it coming off your breath. I can see the redness in your eyes. I'd ask you I'm going to ask you a second time if you will perform field sobriety so I can determine if you are safe to drive.
What was going through your mind while this was happening?
Well, I think the same things that would go through anybody's mind. We made a mistake here.
A mistake that would lead to his arrest and eventually in court, the suspension of his license and agreement to attend a driver's education course. He also paid nearly $2,500 to repair damage to the state vehicle he was driving. Still, though, the sheriff says he's under no illusions that he failed himself and those he serves on that day back in late September. And he's not looking for or expecting special treatment, saying he shouldn't be and wasn't treated differently than anybody else.
You don't blame others. You don't point fingers. You put your hand up and take responsibility. And you be the person that you hope, after 32 years as a correctional professional and 8 years as a sheriff of this great county, that people know me to be.
The case against Sheriff Nick Kochi will be dismissed if he completes probation and stays out of trouble for a year.
Well, it has